Hey, Belcher here, and I want to talk to you today about one of the two things I talk about all the time, and that is, what am I always talking about? Time and hustle. Because I've always believed you can accomplish anything with enough time and enough hustle. So today the thing I want to talk to you about is time. It's the one thing that we all have the same amount of. It's the only thing that whether you're pretty, whether you're ugly, whether you're fat, skinny, smart, or dumb, we all have the same amount of time in a day. And I know a lot of people that are, I know a lot of people that you would think maybe shouldn't be successful, that are wildly successful because they use that piece, that one thing that they have to their advantage greatly. And I'm going to show you today how to use your time, hopefully more effectively, how to be more productive, and how to get more things done in a day. Okay? So I'm going to hit it on just a couple points because, as you know, I've got a limited amount of time and I always talk too much. I'm going to show you three things. These little secrets I got in my hand right here, they're going to make things change for you. Number one, I need to explain a theory to you. See, most people, if you're confused, you get polarized like I do during the day. You've got basically your brain and your body works sort of like a computer. Over here, you've got something called RAM memory. That means that's kind of what you keep up in your brain that keeps moving all around all the time. And if you don't get things out of your RAM, what happens is, just like on your computer, if you have too many things trying to process in at the same time, eventually the computer crashes, right? That's the reason on computers they have things called hard drives. But see, in the brain you don't really have a hard drive. Every thought that goes in there, everything that's on your mind is just constantly rotating and moving around until you get it taken care of, you get it out of your head. So what you got to do is figure out a way to clear your RAM because you just can't process that many things. And what happens with every little thing, remember to take the dry cleaning, get the dog to the groomer, all that stuff, it's not prioritized. There's not priority to it. That versus write your new book or don't forget to put it's all the same. So what you got to do is learn to prioritize that. So what do? Well, here's an exercise I'd like for you to try. I think it'll really just absolutely change your life if you do it. What I've got in my hand right now are three little Post-it notes. Don't buy the big ones. Buy the little ones, like the 1.5 by 2-inch Post-it notes. Because what I want you to do is kind of crazy. I don't want you to keep to-do lists anymore. Don't do it. So let's just say no to-do lists. No, we don't want those anymore. Bad. To-do lists are bad because they're sequential and there's no order to them. It's like having your head. It's a little bit better than carrying around everything in your head, but it's still not good. These little things are great because you can write little small notes, little tiny 1 or 2 word notes on them, and I want you for the next week, for the next 7 days, or the next 5 days, work days, promise yourself to try this. Get these things, and I want you to write down every single thought that crosses your mind. Everything you think of, you say, man, I wish I could do that, or I need to do that. And you should prioritize them. Orange is the most important. Yellow is the second most important, and greens can kind of wait till tomorrow or the next day if you really need to. But what I want you to do, even if they're not that important, write them down in the green and get them out. Stick them on a board behind you, stick them somewhere, because the point is, with these little things, they're great because you can stick them up here and sort of prioritize. You can move them around and decide what you're going to do next. You see what I mean? So you can totally organize these things that are in your head. You will be amazed that once you've written something down, Albert Einstein said, I don't have to remember anything. Write this down, so write her down right here. Albert Einstein said, you never have to remember anything that you can write down. Okay? Never. He never did. That's the reason he had so much brain processing power. Okay? So write down every single thing that crosses your head. And you may have 1,000 of these things at the end of the week. I don't care. But what you're going to find is you start processing them a little bit at a time. Your brain's going to be so much freer. You're going to have so much power in there. And you got your prioritization system. And the last thing I want you to do is the greens, try to delegate every single one of these that you can possibly delegate first. I know delegation, building your delegating muscle is kind of hard to do. So start off with the greens, the things that aren't the most important to you, because eventually you want to delegate a lot more. And if you don't have anybody to delegate to, I'm sorry, if you do this, you process this the right way, you'll have somebody to delegate to, because you're going to make a whole lot more money, and you're going to do a whole lot more things that are better for you. You're going to be able to prioritize all these thoughts that are just constantly bouncing around in your head. And here's the last thing. I keep looking around my notes, so here's the last thing. When you've done something, when you've crossed all of these things off, or you get these things off your list, or delegate it out or something, give yourself a prize. Reward yourself at the end of every week, or reward yourself at the end of every day for using your time well. Okay? This is a simple little exercise that's absolutely life-changing. Write me and tell me what you think. Tell me how it changed you. Tell me how effective it was. It's like dieting, you know. If you fall off the wagon after a couple days, it's easy to do because it's a hard habit to get into. You got a crappy habit that you're in right now over years and years and years. It's going to take you a while to get used to this. But if you do it, it will revolutionize your life. I absolutely promise you that. So try this. Get yourself your 3 little Post-it note things and start writing down every little thought that comes in your head. If you want more videos like this, I'm Perry Belcher at twitter.com/Perry Belcher, or you can find me on Facebook at perrybelcher.com/Facebook. And if you like this video, comment on it, pass it around to your friends, and what's that say? Oh yeah, thanks. I'm Perry.